Hello, and welcome. My name is Rich. This is a Let's Play of Champions Online, a superhero MMO based on the Champions pen and paper RPG. The character I'm playing as is Technical Issues, an electricity-powered superhero. And today, I am going to be playing... Oh yes. The purpose of these Let's Plays is to look at the stories that the game is trying to tell and critique them. Generally, I try to be... That's not true. I was about to say I try to be positive, but so far I have mostly been pointing out negative things or ways that the game has not been great. Not really spent time commenting on ways the game could improve. Although now that I'm thinking about it, I think I have. There are ways that the game could be better that I have talked about before, I think. Oh hey, welcome Ravenforce. So, the end mission for Fatal Error is linked directly to a custom alert, which isn't currently in rotation. Oh, okay. Well, I'll do as much of Fatal Error as I can. It says recommended Team 2, but I'm sure that I can manage solo. Although Ravenforce has also said they might join me, and you'd be very welcome to. Because I'm pretty sure I'm coming to the end of content I can do reasonably with one person or with a volunteer from the audience. I don't... Well, I've changed the build back, so I'm no longer fully... Well, I no longer have tanking options in the powers. I've gone back to doing as much damage as possible because I know that I'm probably not going to be doing very much more, certainly not a huge amount of team content, because the idea of trying to organize people for serious team content to happen on stream, first of all, sounds like a big ask. I know that people are busy, they have their own lives. I don't think that I have enough fans, if I can even say that much, yet to organise a group of people to show up. And there's also the fact that, being as I would be doing it on stream and for a Let's Play where I focus on story, I would be wanting to take things at a slower pace so I can take in all of the story elements, and just putting that on people who are here for get through the content as fast as possible so that I can continue earning things seems unfair, unreasonable. So basically I think I'm coming to the end of what I can actually show on this stream reasonably of Champions Online. There's a bit more for Wednesday, and in fact, given that things are lining up that way, it's convenient because on Friday I'm not going to be streaming. Yeah, welcome Hawkman, by the way. Yes, you're welcome to join as well. That's fine. There's definitely a little more content in Unity 2 than NemCon. Unity missions change daily, however. NemCon would require 5 individuals. Yeah, I don't know that I don't want to try and get together 5 people for content. I assume that this is you, Hawkman? Nice character, nice costume. I like the stoic flight. I never got to... I never unlocked it myself when I was opening I think it was the Shaolin boxes. I didn't open a ton of them though. Not that I opened a lot of lock boxes in the first place, but anyway. Technical issues. I have detected irregularities in my data. And then there's a bunch of binary mixed in, which I'm not going to attempt to pronounce. Aha, yes, I see. Thank you for showing me that tip. Okay, well, I'll invite you. I've detected irregularities in my data something operational parameters, which probably is operational parameters, but I don't know what this used to be. I am under attack by malicious code. If the attack is not stopped, I will be subject to a hijack that could disrupt or damage every computer system in the city to which I am connected. That would be every computer system in the city. Probably not entirely, but yes, this is obviously bad. Please report to the Champions building for build something instruction there. So I don't know what that used to be. Obviously, Socrates is not connected to the traffic control systems. Unless, if they are, they don't devote very much attention to it. Why is this? Oh, it does have water in it. It doesn't look like it does remotely. Oh no, there we go. There are some slight reflections here. Can if I translate the binary back to plain text. Oh, fair enough. Well, I mean, yes, there are binary translators. I just can't be bothered transcribing the binary over.
Ah, excellent. Socrates said someone was coming to help. I am currently at an impasse, because the attacker has locked out the central host console. To keep me from investigating the crime scene, as it were. To restore access, we'll need to enter simultaneous command overrides from both sides of the lock. I have a prototype digitizer in my lab. I'll digitize and upload you into the Socrates computer system. You'll need to locate the I/O port registers that correspond to each terminal. Socrates will monitor your progress.
This is a three-dimensional visualization of my primary I/O bus. Constructed it using elements from Homestead and Millennium City to make it easier for you to navigate. The terminal ports you must find are represented by this object. One of the champions will be at each terminal. Choose the and you input yours. Malicious processes will most likely attempt to stop you, so you must let it go.
Not how it looks like the Champions HQ building. Yeah, it's a combination of the Champions building and parts of Millennium City, but also you will notice very strong similarities between this and Tron, which I think it is really drawn from more than anything else. I think if you fly along here, yeah, code will jump out at you. Just turn up because it's in hiding. I'm not quite sure what... Obviously this is a stream of data bits. I'm not sure what this is supposed to represent, like this barrier. I mean, it's herding us around to make it so that it's less boring, I suppose, to look at. but I don't really know what it's supposed to represent. Like, it can't be a firewall, because you don't have firewalls inside internal systems. Digital blockade. Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe it's something that AIs are capable of doing to help protect themselves, that we just don't have any kind of language for, because we haven't developed any sapient AIs. Off stream, I tried to do what is it? It's with Destroids and Foxbat and the factory that makes Destroids, hidden in the museum to the Detroit Battle of Detroit. I got part of the way through. I got to a point where dudes kept spawning, and you had to interact with 2 separate consoles to turn them off. And I, being solo and not doing very much damage, was not capable of... Ironclad here! I am ready to type the code! I think your caps lock is on. That is because the override code is all in uppercase. Enter your part now! Yeah. I like how they played into the fact that he's, in all of his voice lines, basically shouting. Override accepted. Move to the next console. Ironclad doesn't really have an inside voice. And if you're just skipping through the text, you probably wouldn't notice. I mean, I certainly didn't the first couple of times I did. Fatal Error. It was only when I only happened to notice by chance, really. His response. And then I realised, oh yeah, that's clever. So we... Big tentacles. Digital tentacles, yeah. So this is evidence of the hack that's going on. I forgot to... I mean, when I was looking at the map, I noticed... In fact, I noticed down here. And I did spot it as we were approaching, but it completely escaped my mind to mention it. So this, apparently, is what it looks like when someone hacks at least Socrates, if not computers in general. I'm not really sure why you would have the kind of random crack shapes. I mean, that kind of implies that the code is organic somehow, when computer code, I mean, as far as anyone can think up in terms of computer architecture, like physical architecture, you can really only have binary, which implies a sort of, you know, blocky shape like this here. It could be possible in quantum computing to have a 3-state computer rather than a 2-state or binary computer, but even if one were buildable, and I imagine in a universe like this probably one has been, how a binary and a non-binary a quantum computer would interact with one another at technical issues. Are you ready to enter override? Are you texting from your phone? At technical issues, lol, yes, but I'm typing the code into a SOC terminal, don't worry. At technical issues, okay, here goes. At technical issues, it worked! Defender is next, smiley face. Yeah, cool, thanks. I'm glad you're taking this seriously, Sapphire. It's really reassuring. Maybe it's a reflection of the way two data systems interact badly. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, would it even be possible for a system built around a trinary quantum architecture be capable of communicating with a binary system without converting its output to binary on a much higher level than just circuit board stuff? I guess we'll just have to wait and find out in real life. And I imagine that they'll be building such computers, quantum computers with a trinary system, to be able to communicate, like at a base level. They'll be trying to build it in as much as possible so that systems will be cross-compatible, because it would be an enormously bad business decision, I think, to try and make to try anything else, you know, try and make a system that can't communicate with existing systems. That just seems daft. I mean, it's one thing in like consoles to have have it so that a PS3 or a PlayStation can't communicate with an Xbox of any kind. I mean, they don't really even put that much effort into making sure that Xboxes can talk to one another. But in cases like that, you've got market competition. You know that you've got an audience. I haven't really looked into it, but I wonder whether the very first consoles were capable. No, they probably weren't. They were probably trying to make sure that intellectual properties remained, so that they could keep making money. So in that case, consoles, they were probably trying to make as different as possible. But so it just occurred to me that maybe Windows and Apple and Linux operating systems like that are probably a better idea to look at for examples. They run differently, but they are capable of communicating with one another. You can link up a Mac and a PC on a network and they'll communicate, and you can have emails going between the two of them and they'll communicate. Yeah, old school stuff, predated industry standardization. Yeah, standardization in any industry is a great idea. Defender is typing a message. Hello? I am ready and waiting to type my command override. When you are in position and ready to enter yours, send me a signal and we'll start. We should use a short countdown to make sure we're completely synchronized. With these keystrokes, we'll restore Socrates and protect the people of Millennium City. Yes, this is again playing into Defender's personality trait where he talks too much. Defender is typing a message. We're done.
The command
That's enough.
successfully locked my central host console in Dr. Silver. His digital forensic analysis. There's dedicated IO port further on through which you may speak with him.
The old days, some OSs actually used 7-bit binary. That seems unnecessarily complicated. So, this... You would think in a binary hack on a binary system it wouldn't look like this, so I'm going to headcanon it that the person responsible, whose name I still can't remember because he never comes up anywhere, is using a trinary quantum system. He certainly seems advanced enough if he's giving Cyberlord problems. As we'll discover later. I mean, a bit spoilers, but the game's 11 years old. If you're worried about spoilers, it's a bit late. Although, when did the adventure packs and stuff like this come out? How long after the release of... Oh, he comes up somewhere. Okay. How long after the initial release of the game did adventure packs come out? Was it a year or less than a year? More than? I haven't researched the trials and tribulations, the fortunes of the company and the way that things flowed with the game. Cybermind is a custom alert villain. Oh, okay, fair enough. I guess, I mean, I've already said before, but I tend to play MMOs solo, just by habit. So any content that requires lots of people to play, like a team of 5, I probably haven't done it. And I'm figuring that all of this that I'm doing now is probably enough of a primer to get people who, if anyone who's watching or ends up watching this on YouTube later doesn't play the game or didn't before they started and have decided to since starting watching, they'll probably be capable of finding people to play alongside for the content I can't show or don't show. One moment while I switch to voice communication. Okay.
There, I have isolated the code that has been spawning those rogue processes. This may seem strange, but as you are already inside Socrates' core memory, you must destroy the villainware before it breaks through the firewalls I've placed.
This is the fun part. Yeah, this is definitely fun if you're playing solo. It takes fucking ages. Each one of these you have to deal with. And if you're playing solo as a DPS character, you're remarkably more squishy. And these fuckers... I haven't actually determined a pattern to them spawning. I think it's like when you start attacking and then when you destroy a virus branch. And then there's a big fucking spider asshole. Not literally the asshole of a spider which appears, which would be easier to deal with, I think, but like an asshole who is a spider, or a spider that is by nature of its being here and causing problems, an asshole. This is really... It's doable if you're careful solo, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would probably manage easier with technical issues than I would with just a standard DPS character. I think the Cyberlord section's easier than this is. Do they just spawn on you the whole time you're here? Oh well. There's also the adventure pack they're adding in episodes, or the 2 adventure packs, I think. It's Death Rattle and Serene Abyss that has been coming out gradually over the last few months, maybe the last year. The first time you do each mission, you can only get the next one after about 24 hours has passed, but then once you've done a mission, you can do it. I think I'm not sure how often you can repeat it, but it's certainly a repeatable mission. This actually looks like a virus, like a biological virus. Well, I say biological. Viruses that affect biological beings are so close to being robots. Basically, they're not really classified as living beings. They're not quite complex enough. But yeah, so this resembles a biological virus, which I think is cool. But yeah, actually managing this solo as a DPS character is really tough. But yes, so I've been making my way through the Serene Abyss and Death Rattle content outside of streams, so that I can do it all back to back. You miss out on a little bit. So at the end of Death Rattle, Lady Hawk.
With Dr. Silverback's assistance, I expect to be as functional as new within a few hours. There is no longer any risk to the city's networks or infrastructure. Dr. Silverback is exporting you to the physical world in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. You did marvelous work in there. Please accept this as a token of my appreciation.
Socrates virus helmet, very nice. I'll have that. Only soloed this once, decided nope, not soloing it again. I think it would be more doable with a tank. It would take longer, but it would be easier. Greetings, technical issues. Yes, I am a being of pure thought, a creation of remarkable advances in artificial intelligence, but that does not make me any less pleased to see you. I offer you my personal thanks, technical issues. Without your timely intervention, the virus could have used my network to put the entire city at risk. However, we do not yet know who was behind this attack, so as Defender would say, we must remain vigilant. I think he would say a lot more than that, but sure. Note how carrier wave is not marked 2 to 5. Yeah, it's not marked any number, is it? Technical issues. I have finished tracing the attack upon my data back to its origin network. The attack was launched from Cyberlord's floating carrier over Canada. I now have his virus signatures incorporated into my defenses, but I predict a 93.5% probability that Cyberlord will try again with a different vector. I am arranging until transport to Canada for you to confront Cyberlord and preempt his next attack. Report to the landing pad northwest of Ren Center for your ride. I'm not sure... Well, first of all, I'm not sure what Harmon Convergence leads to. I guess I'll probably want to research that. I'm not sure whether this or Whiteout is supposed to have happened first. But anyway, so I've been doing... yes, I've been doing Death Rattle, and I'll start on Serene Abyss because I just finished Death Rattle yesterday. Doing it on stream back to back rather than for the first time, we will miss out on a little bit because for Death Rattle your contact is Lady Hawk, and at the end of that she has like a pop-up here, like a window with info telling you to go to a particular place to continue to be able to continue to the next part, which I don't know will show up when we're actually
approaching Cyberlord's carrier. His weapons will blow us out of the sky if we don't pull back. We're leaving one of our escorts to extract you. Get to the command center and neutralize the target quickly. Good luck.
So I don't know whether the little bits of like pop-up window dialogue will show up on a second playthrough. If not, we're not missing that much, thankfully. But if they do show up, well, that's a nice bonus. I don't remember how much of Serene Abyss there is. Oh no, I have done a bit of it. I started by helping out Dr. Carr in a mansion. I think after that you need to go around randomly finding new shadows who have decided to turn up in. I'm very impressed that Life Drain can draw life out of robots. So there are some new shadows who show up in Millennium City, looking for Dr. Carr just because they're knobheads and they want to give him grief. So you have to hunt them down, and then I don't remember what happens after that. It might be that nothing happens after that because they haven't released it yet, or it might be that there's just a gap in my memory. Cyberlord's carrier appears to be in a locked down state. This switch controls one of the security interlocks that is blocking access to the carrier's bridge. And then presumably we undo. Yeah, so... Oh no, hold on. Disengage interlocks 0 of 3. So, okay. That would have been fun if I had assumed that was disengaged and not paid attention to the tracker here. I think I've probably done that the last... Well, all of the times, really, that I've done this mission. I remember every time being confused why why one of these was missing and flying through the whole lot, trying to find the switch to flip. So I'm glad that I noticed this time. A little bit inconvenient that the game doesn't just go, we're telling you we need you to disengage interlocks in this instance, but we're not actually going to disengage this specific interlock when we tell you that you need to disengage interlocks. We're just going to fucking assume that you notice. Which is nice of them. It would make life a little bit easier if that first dialogue box up there, when you closed it, did the thing for you. I mean, you've gotten as far as noticing that there's a box on the wall that you need to interact with. Maybe it's reasonable to expect players to be able to notice the thing that they've just interacted. Well, hold on. Why would you think that the thing you've just interacted with would still be interactable? I can't think of anywhere else in the game where an object continues to be interactable after you've finished doing the thing to it. Like, once you've done that, you would immediately turn around and fly off, or, you know, zip away or whatever. Why would your previous experiences of the game teach you that actually you need to pay a little bit more attention in that one instance? I didn't quite catch it. I mean, I saw one of these guys pick up a slab of floor to throw. I didn't quite manage to catch whether it was concrete or not. It's obviously a power from the might set. And there's also some laser sword in there. There we go. A lot of these, and I'm surprised we're not destroying them as we go. I'm surprised that that's not an objective. It seems like that would be a good idea. I mean, Cyberlord is a kind of a nuisance, or perhaps a major threat. It seems unclear exactly how big of a deal he is, but inconveniencing him when you have the opportunities just seems like good practice. Override elevator door lock. Nice. Surprised we can't find a way to disable the security so that these guys can fly back in a bit closer. Well, I mean, we're most of the way there now. It's not like we're struggling particularly, and it shouldn't be too difficult to effect an extraction afterwards, particularly if we've dealt with the majority of the security force. But this hover fortress absolutely has to be using space increasing technology on the inside, because in this instance we actually do have an exterior that we can look at, like we landed on the top deck of this place, and it definitely was not the size of the interior space that we have been exploring through.
Impertinent heroes. You think to rescue Cyberlord and earn a debt of gratitude? There will be no debt, only death. And then I will crush that upstart hacker, Cybermind.
I still can't believe how easy it was to hack all your machines, Cyberlord.
Cyberlord!
And that supercomputer really thought you were behind my virus attack. You're all just so easy to manipulate for someone of my genius skills. Well, there he is, hero. The mastermind behind the attack on your precious Socrates. You better stop him before he strikes again.
The lack of see a bunch of sparkles around Cyberlord. I guess there probably is. Yeah, there definitely is. I think it's because I haven't really got anywhere else at the moment to put the recordings of my streams, so that's taking up a lot of memory on my main computer. So the game has lowered the visual settings to protect the computer, I guess. I know that I started out with a lot more visual stuff in the display. I need to sort that out. 9 is the most on point from lore when transitioning into game. Perfectly, nice. He's deeply ungrateful and Cybermind is enormously irritating. He behaves like he's about 13. The very first time I tried to do this was before I'd started.
Imbeciles, I will have my revenge upon you all.
It was before I'd started reading power descriptions, so I didn't actually have any slotted passive at all, and I don't think that I had a toggle. So I was struggling hard. And it was only later when I came back to the game, after I'd played a bunch of World of Warcraft and learned to read powers, that fatal error. Nice. It was only after I'd learned to read powers in World of Warcraft that I came back and realized my problem, the source of my issues. Find things a lot easier when you gear up. Had the same experience when I first joined CO. This one's almost readable. That took a lot less time than I was expecting. So now I don't really know what to do with the rest of the 2 hours of the stream. Greetings, technical issues. Oh, I've already read that. I am horrified that Cybermind would mislead me so easily. Perhaps there are lingering traces of his virus affecting my judgment. Incidentally, based on the new data that Cybermind routed his attack upon me through Cyberlord's host systems, my confidence level is in a second future attack now approaches 99.99%. So let's find out what Harman convergence is, I suppose. Oh no, yes, this is... I thought that this would lead into resistance, and I suppose it might do, but... let's do it anyway. There is a developing situation at the Harman Industries laboratory. A squad of destroids has appeared along the waterfront near the lab and are massing for an assault on the building. The police have cordoned off the area, and I have lost contact with a Mars team that was sent into the area. Break up the attack by taking out the robots in charge. Keep an eye out for evidence of what happened to the Mars team. To reach Harman Industries, travel east along the waterfront to reach the labs. Okie dokie. Well, the thing about choosing gear stats is I'm not very good at it. I I'm no good at doing the necessary math in my head. I can't do it for World of Warcraft. I have to use gear guides to optimize characters in World of Warcraft to play at a remotely competitive level. I only raided with a guild for a couple of months in the middle of Legion, really, or well, kind of towards the end. I didn't play very much of the final planet, the name of which escapes me. Argus? Yeah, I never played very much Argus. I was just playing Tomb of Sargeras and the one before it, the city in Suramar, that raid. And when I was doing that, I had to rely on gear guides. Thankfully, World of Warcraft, being much larger, has a much bigger community, and there are people in it who spend the time on coding all of these sites and stuff. Unfortunately, there isn't the density of fans playing this game to get that put together, which is a shame, because anything that makes playing the game easier also means that people are more people are more likely to play. But oh well. Oh right, it's because they're so much lower level than me. I was wondering why I could fly right past them, like right in their faces, and they wouldn't notice me. Oh, hey, Raven. Gravitator. Do you have the mission? Would you like me to share it with you? Oh, you've both got the Stoic Flight, you bastards. Oh, cool, okay. Now that I'm thinking about it, did I ever go back and finish Rhinoplasty? I know I tried again, but I don't know whether I tried with my character built like this. I tried again after I was max level and I still failed. Don't remember. We did rhinoplasty. Alright, well I'll take your word for it. It's good to see you. Technical issues. We're in a bad situation here. Downtown dust-off. Am I glad to see you? These civilians were trapped here when the destroids attacked Harmon Labs. We have airborne transports standing by to get them out. Okay, yeah, I'll read it off the screen because they seem to have started moving already. But we have to get these people to a location where the transports can land safely. The birds have been circling for some time and they are now low on fuel. Doesn't really give you enough time to read, does it? And they are low on fuel. If we don't get these people out of here now, the transports will leave. I don't think we can hold out long enough for them to refuel and return. Escort the civilians to a clear landing area and signal the transport to pick them up with a smoke grenade. Make sure they get aboard safely. Yeah, just to go back to something I was talking about and then forgot to finish because a cutscene happened, I think. We definitely know that the exterior size of Cyberlord's hover ship does not match the interior size remotely, because we actually got to stand on the outside of it, and it was pretty big, but it was not the size that we experienced when we were inside. So he's definitely using some kind of space expansion technology inside, and there's even more of it than we saw in the sections we got to, because there was like conveyor belts and like production lines going through the whole thing, like in one end of a room and out the other. Return to Socrates. Still got 2 minutes left of downtown dust off. Oh, cool. Thank you. That's really awesome. I think it would be a good cosmetic thing for technical issues, really. It's the main reason that I wanted it. She gives me the impression that she's the sort of no-nonsense type to try and glare air resistance down. What is taking the civilians so long getting into this fucking Osprey? Come on, stop hanging out with this guy. Gladys. Gladys, get on the chopper. I don't care if you're scared of flying. Perhaps try being scared of immediate being shot to death. A little bit more. Right, good, she's on. And now the Osprey needs to stay here for another 45 seconds. Osprey. Millennium City Police. Osprey. Cool, thanks. Thanks for letting me know that it's an Osprey. Didn't know that before. Wouldn't have guessed. Just tell me a little bit about the function it's used for. Like, obviously it's used for picking up passengers, I guess, rescue operations, but is it also a gunship of any kind? I mean, sure, it's got a rotary cannon on the front of it, but can it be used for that? Or is that just for point defense, I guess? It would take you... What? Why did we fail? Our tanks are dry, disengaging to refuel. I'm out of gas, heading to base. What the... Yeah, thank you. Time was a countdown. Finish before fail. Right, okay. But I thought that we did do all the things that we were supposed to do. Like, popped the smoke grenade. Got everyone on board. I thought we got everyone on board. I want everyone to use smoke, not just the team lead. Oh, right, okay. What fun! How nice of the mission to let us know. Do you want to get on the Osprey, Adrian? Is she not getting on because she's not on full health or something? Yeah, so I think I've mentioned ages ago, a couple of months ago, that the Kular mothership is still in the river, and it would be very easy to add a bit of content using that as a starting point. I mean, you've already got tile sets for Kular interior spaces. And you could have any number of starting missions. Unity to make use of all sorts of new maps. Oh, cool. Very cool areas. Oh yeah, I haven't explored very much of the Unity stuff. I've been asked to go to Unity, but I haven't done very much there. What the hell else does this mission require of us? Could it please let us know? Blood sacrifice, yeah, apparently. Oh, thank goodness. All right. Next is... there's an attack on Harmon whilst he's giving a speech. My thanks for getting those civilians out of there. The destroids were jamming Happer's transmissions, so I had no idea there were non-combatants in there, in the area. Harmon conversion completed. Excellent work getting those civilians out of the line of fire. The police report that destruction of the destroid leaders has made it possible for them to secure the area. Cool. Waterfront Watcher. Although things are quieting down near the Harmon Industries laboratory, I have concerns about Mr. Harmon's safety, the CEO of Harmon Industries. He is about to give a speech in honor of the Millennium City waterfront renewal project down near the river. The location is not far from the site of the attack on his laboratory. A wealthy industrialist such as himself might make a tempting target to whomever is controlling the old destroids. Could you make an appearance at this speech and let Mr. Harmon know that everything possible is being done to ensure his safety? The speech is being given along the waterfront, along the riverfront between Memorial Park and the Renaissance Centre. Cool. I know that there's a crafting node here, but I probably don't have high enough what does tier 2 mean? Unlocks for every character on your account. Once unlocked, the power will be available when selecting your travel powers. Cool. Thank you very much. Ah, right. I thought you meant the travel power. I was like, how is giving me a travel power that's tier 2? But yes, the crafting node is probably tier 2, which means... Oh yeah, I wonder whether you can target her. You can. And my crafting is 52, so it's not going to be high enough to interact... well, I'll be able to interact with it, but I can't, like... Well, it's because she's a hologram. I don't think you can kiss holograms very easily. So I know that it's there. My expectation is that I don't have a high enough crafting skill to interact with it, so I didn't bother trying. So, thinking about... Actually, no, I'll express that thought in a minute after we've done this bit. Dr. James Harmon IV. Well, hello there, technical issues. It's great to meet you again. I mean, it's nice to meet you. Wow, he's really good at this acting business, isn't he? North MC has tier 1 nodes. I know they're around. I know that they're mostly up here. I know that I could fly around the park a bunch to find some, but because it hasn't been relevant to the story except for that one occasion in Vibora Bay during the apocalypse, where you could use your magic crafting skill, so not just any crafting skill, but your magic crafting skill to advance the story a little bit. I haven't been putting any time into the crafting skill at all. I appreciate you updating me on the situation at the lab. We are lucky to have heroes like you in this city. Discord and Harmony. It's usually not relevant to anything because the stuff that does care is basically launch era content. So what stuff cares about a few things like Vibora that were soon after. Okay. Although you seem to have thwarted the destroyed attack on my lab, I doubt we've seen the last of them today. I refuse to allow fear of an attack to govern my actions or those of Millennium City's citizens. However, I do not wish to see anyone needlessly endangered. Could you stay near while I give my speech, just in case there is trouble? Provide extra security. Using mods takes into account your crafting skill, a chance to succeed. Yeah, I know that is a factor, but like it's not related to the gameplay at all. On alert, expansion changed the way crafting works and nothing after it used it as an alternative objective. Okay. Oh, I should probably read this out, actually. Hello everyone. Oh no, this. Scroll away. I'll read it whilst we're escorting the people to safety, because that doesn't really take very much. So he said, "Hello everyone. You know why we're gathered here today. The Millennium City Waterfront Restoration Society has done some outstanding work." And then the Annihilator bot shows up and shouts, "James Harmon!" And then he is like, "What are you doing here?" Dr. Destroyer sends his greetings to the people of Millennium City. He looks forward to the day when you all will bow before him. And why should we bow before your master? Because we will be taking these upstanding citizens hostage against your good behavior. Activate the teleportation device. Protect the civilians. Beginning teleportation process. It's nice of them to let us know that that's what's happening. The Destroids didn't have to do that. It would have made things more difficult if they didn't announce what they were doing. So it's nice that they're being considerate towards us in this trying time. We need to get these people to safety. Let's go. And then trooper bots just requiring assistance because they've met us. So the thought I was going to express earlier, just before we started with talky bits, was I'm not fully decided yet what I want to do as a character in DCUO, which is what I'm going to be playing next. Definitely next week. Maybe, no, I was going to say maybe on Wednesday, but I don't think I want to start on Wednesday and then leave a gap as big as I would be. Why is there a question mark here telling me to come here to talk to him? Okay. So I'm probably going to play on Monday next week. I don't know what I'm going to play on Wednesday. If we run out of stuff to do before then. Technical issues. I can say with complete confidence that the heroism you've displayed recently in Millennium City has not gone unnoticed by your peers, and I'm sure Defender is particularly impressed with you. Very sure, if you take my meaning. Wink wink. Yes, I do, thank you. If only I could say the same for my being impressed by Defender. So I've got... I could do Finkel Foundry alert. Yeah, sure. Is that the Destroyed Foundry? Oh, right, alert, sorry, yes. Key part of that sentence I missed out. Crazy Toy Maker. Is that this one? March of the Mecha Soldiers? Black Harlequin has converted the Finkel Foundry into a mechanical soldier factory. Stop him before his legions of mecha soldiers terrorize the city. Q team, I guess. Which hopefully will fill up reasonably quickly. So part of me wants to make technical issues in DCUO to continue the theme, but I don't know quite what I'm going to play after DCUO, and it might be something like Lord of the Rings Online, which I would feel awkward. I would feel deeply awkward creating a character called Technical Issues to play Lord of the Rings Online with. I might play Kingdoms of Amalur: The Reckoning. I might play Hellgate London. And these aren't really games that you can carry the theme across into. So, I mean, I might as well not bother. Yeah, it's a shame that Kingdoms of Amalur never got any multiplayer. I think it'd be really great to play with at least one other person. I might play Divinity 2, Original Sin. That looks like a really good game. I've played a little bit of it. I've played the tutorial a couple of times before I got my gaming PC, and I didn't feel like my laptop at the time was really capable of running it properly. And I think it might be possible to build an electricity-based character in Divinity 2, but there's so many other options. Why limit myself? At the same time, I only picked electricity because that seemed like the most likely power set available in Champions Online to allow me to play with the theme of technical issues. In DCUO, there's things like quantum physics, which I think could be cool, especially because in DCUO, electricity is a healing power set, like that's the secondary function that it can perform. And I kind of want to try playing a control character in DCUO just to...
So, you finally found me at the Finkel Foundry. Come to spread the holiday cheer, have you? Well, I've got some cheer of my own to spread. Why don't you come in and get it?
He sounds like a mix of Mad Hatter and Mad Hatter from the Disney Alice in Wonderland, the animation, and a little bit of Mark Hamill's Joker from Batman the Animated Series. So he... Wow, woof, everyone's gone. This is one toy you probably don't want to play with. When we came in, your instincts were correct. Black Harlequin has transformed the abandoned foundry into a workshop to manufacture his deadly toys. appears he is preparing to deliver thousands of presents around the city to spread his warped idea of holiday cheer. Black Harlequin's most dangerous invention is his new mecha soldier generator. The generator looks like an enormous gift box. That generates a constant stream of mecha soldiers. Destroy these boxes to prevent an army of mecha soldiers from marching through Millennium City. Nope. Alright, it blew up. That's quite a cunning ploy, actually. I'm impressed. So in DCUO, perhaps Quantum might make more sense for the theme of technical issues, assuming I play with the name technical issues again in there, assuming it's available. Oh, come on.
I like that in a hero. Come stop me, if you can.
At the same time, like, yes, there is an electricity power set in DCUO, but it's a healing set. And I'm not really much of a healer, or like its secondary function is of a healer. You could play a DPS with electricity if you like. But Quantum, for example, is a control set, and DCUO is actually a game with a viable control archetype. Like, you can genuinely play as a control character in DCUO. There's a variety of powers that let you play control, and I would kind of like to have a go at that. And I haven't quite decided yet what I'm going to do, which way I'm going to take it. Black Harlequin was once an abused and neglected young boy. His mother locked him in a basement and kept him there for years, paranoid that his soul was full of sin. Oh. Why are you like this? It's hard to say what's the betting this is going to come alive. It's hard to say what he was like before that, but his years of isolation clearly drove the boy mad. His only entertainment was using the toy-making workshop his late father had once had in the basement. He built himself mechanized toys to be his companions, and to eventually free him from his imprisonment by killing his mother. These days he uses his toys to commit crime sprees. He's absolutely unpredictable and insists that everyone around him be happy, or else. So he's a bit like a combination. Well, he's more like DC Universe's Toyman, really, more than anything else. Yep, there we go. Thought so. Giant mecha soldier. Say the same thing back to you, Mr. Harlequin.
Stop frowning, or your face will bleed that way.
Nice. Yeah, I guess I wasn't paying full attention to beating dudes up because I was trying to read info, but which is kind of why I knew that would happen, and it's kind of why I don't want to try more multiplayer content. Yeah, I was going to... Well, so there's a couple of missions in Monster Island that I need to hand in. And I'm not sure why I haven't done that already. Oh, that's Defeat Me Phoenix. And this was... Destroy Ritual Summoning of Flames. Oh yeah, that was the two that I acquired upon starting the Phoenix Cave bit. Oh, hey, Mimo, welcome. I've run out of things to do. I'm struggling to find content. Trying to decide what to do next. I think I want to go to Monster Island to hand these in, just to get that out of the way. I don't know... I've only got Echoes of Andrith, which, again, I need to hand in. Okay, so I must have finished Rhinoplasty, because it's not in the list anymore of missions that I have, so... Oh, fair enough. It's good to know that you've got plenty to work from in STO, but in fairness, Perfect World Entertainment did move all of the devs who were on Champions Online over to Star Trek Online. So it's not really surprising that you've got lots of content and I don't have enough. Oh yeah, Major Kwame. Who's over here? No, that's wrong. That's the wrong person. That's Fulani, isn't it? Kwame is over here, isn't he? Yes, there we go. And then Silverback's hologram is up here. Yeah, I don't know where I wouldn't be able to weigh in on the where the money is being made idea. They're presumably making enough from Champions Online that it's still going, although apparently it is on the same server as Neverwinter. So to shut one down, they'd need to shut down the other. Yeah, it's clearly making enough money to keep itself alive. It might be supporting a couple of other games as well. I don't know why they've removed all but one of the devs from the game. I think that's a bad move on in my opinion. But you're here to take down Viper. About dang time. I'm working with the Project Snake Charmer division of Until. I've been chasing after Viper scum my entire career. I said I'd follow these Viper creeps to the ends of the earth, and look, here I am. I cannot get over the fact that one of the Crowns of Crim was here on Monster Island, and Until didn't have the slightest idea. I thought our intel was better than that, frankly. But thank goodness you stumbled upon Phoenix's scheme and were able to put a stop to it. Oh, there's Whacking Day. How come I didn't do that? One of the members of... Oh, it's probably because it's a repeatable mission. One of the members of the Crowns of Crim was operating under our very noses without our knowledge. I thought we had a handle on everything going on in Slither Beach. I guess it just goes to show you, Monster Island has surprises around every corner and buried under every rock. Fine work, technical issues. And... Oh no, it's not a repeatable. Collect... Oh, that's why it is. It's collect 20 Serpentine reports off Viper and Slither Beach, which I'm not doing because I don't imagine that they drop at a 1-to-1 rate. Kaiserin explained it as devs being shared between games. I don't know that I can believe that fully. I mean, maybe the people that they borrow off of STO are just here to create content for the lockboxes so that they can keep making lockboxes. I'm worried that when Magic Legends releases, they'll shunt all the devs over to there from STO, and STO will return into this. Star Trek is a much bigger franchise than Champions Online, which is entirely fair. You're not wrong there. And Magic is a bigger franchise again. In gaming, they're not overall than Star Trek. Yeah. Devs are borrowed from full lockboxes and other stuff like animations. Yeah, that's what I thought. If they are borrowing devs for content for this, then it can't be for making missions. It has to be for just doing costume parts for lockboxes. It's good to see you. Technical issues. Unfortunately, my Millennium City... Oh, we've already read that before, haven't we? Thank goodness you made it out alive. Technical issues. Vikarin the Blind is one of the most powerful and ruthless of all the Lemurians. So I'll have that, thank you. We've completed Revolution Under the Sea and Ruin from something or other that I didn't quite read in time. Now I will return to Millennium City. Speak to Hank Crusoe. Who's that? Where is Hank Crusoe? Oh yeah, there was a mission with a volleyball, wasn't there? Somewhere in the ruins. Near the heckling Lemurians. I don't know who that would be. Is it? Are you going there? Should I follow you? And the game engine and style is the same. I can see all these characters theoretically inhabiting the STO character hubs, so I can see how the devs could easily be shared. The systems look practically identical. Fair enough. Ah, thank you. I wouldn't have known that he was here. Antagonizers. Oh, okay. Just let me know when you're back. My plane crash landed on Monster Island so long ago I can't even remember. Have I been out here in the sun so long I'm seeing things? Or are you really a superpowered hero? And if so, will you help me? Yes, that's fine. A hermit castaway who subsists primarily on diet of coconuts, fish, sea crabs, and tree bark, as opposed to the other kind of crab that you get from magma or something. All this time under the hot Monster Island sun has left him not completely sane. I'm surprised that... I mean, it's cool that technology played by the same player from the same account could just join the team straight away, but it's a bit odd. Didn't expect that to be a thing. In fact, I think those lava rocks and the specific palm tree are exactly the same assets. Could be hacked. Are you secretly Foxbat? Is that what it is? Raven Force. The friends list function. Ah, okay. It's because we're added as friends. Okay. Ah, it's a command you can use. Cunning. The Lemurians have been chasing me since I crashed. At first, I thought they were some kind of hallucination, but they're all too real. I found a special plant, though, up in the caldera of the volcano. I mix it with some other herbs and put it in the water, and it keeps them away from from my island. But now the lizards that really hate me are lining the shore, waiting for me. I'm down to my last volcano plant, and there are so many Lemurians on the shore. Marooned and blue. You think I'm crazy, don't you? Maybe I am. I've lost a lot along the way. There were these things, items, junk really, but they were mine and reminded me of things and kept me sane. I lost them or dropped them when I was running from those lizard man things. I lost one on a bridge up on the mountain at a ruin with green crystals, another at the eastern edge of a ruin that's near lava, and the final one at a ruin just west of here with that big crystal. Those things were the last things keeping me sane. Without them, I might go completely mad. I'm surprised that he's not asking us to do these guys in, but we'll do it free of charge. Did that get transformed into a toy? Yeah, it would require literally nothing to add a mission to do like 10 of these guys in. And it would make sense. There is, you have it. Oh, really? Oh, okay. I assume that we get it afterwards. Crusoe versus the volcano. Defeat Lemurian antagonizers. Oh, right. I just wasn't... Did I not pay attention, or did it not say anything about defeating Lemurians? The mission info only said anything about please get me herbs from the volcano. It didn't say anything about defeating Lemurians. Also, you can just find the player in your friends list, right click and request to join team. He said Lemurian stole his stuff. No, he said that he left things behind, he dropped them as he was running away, and that's Marooned and Blue, not Crusoe versus the volcano. So during the mission text for Crusoe versus the volcano, it didn't say anything about please beat those guys up for me. Also, yes, you can turn enemies into super tough pink teddy bears. That's rad. So we need to go all the way up. How on earth did he get into the actual main caldera of the volcano? Like, did he climb the hard way? Because there is a path, but it's lined with masses of Lemurians, like really tough Lemurians. You can see it here, winding its way up. Then it goes up here and comes through here. Like, did he climb up here, I guess? And then climb down inside? Apparently he was doing this regularly as well. Firewalker perk. Cool. Your collected data shows that the lava is deadly hot. Yeah, what a surprise. Lava? Deadly hot? Who knew? Rock vendor. Is that where you go with the rocks that you get? Is that what you need them for? Wild. Teddy bears, you say? Yep, there's presents around. Talk to normal rock. Greetings, technical issues. Have you rocks to trade? You're a rock. Yes, I am. You've got different rarities of rock that match the different rarities of gear. So there's like white, green, blue, purple, I think gold. Special edition action figure Wibbles. Usually I get rocks out of packs that I get, like bags that drop, for instance, during the not the Halloween, the or sometimes the Halloween event actually, yeah, but out of the anniversary gifts and the April Fool's stuff. That's usually the place that I get rocks, and I usually sell them on the auction house because I didn't know that this place existed. So there's Attack Rock. It's a rock that attacks things. Summons a rock that will randomly attack your foes. This rock will last up to 300 seconds. Detoggling this device will cause the rock to vanish and the device to go on cooldown. This device will also go on cooldown if the rock is defeated. Have the attack rock and Boldero on Mr. Stone, my Earth user. Nice. This is why people buy them. Yeah, fair enough. So you've got an attack rock, rock throw, that allows you to throw a rock which deals a small amount of crushing damage. The rock can use the following attacks: smash, lunge, and that appears to be it, unless there's more on the list that just isn't showing up. Throw a soft rock. You throw a rock, this one doesn't really hurt. Special edition action figure, pet rock. Okay. So how exactly are you supposed to find out about Hank Crusoe, besides just happening to fly over the area and notice him? Like, is there a random chance? Okay, there isn't an introductory mission or anything then, because I'm pretty sure I've done as much as I can of Monster Island, and I haven't gotten any kind of, oh, by the way, there's a guy over there, could you go and talk to him please, kind of mission that you would expect to get. Please stay lined up like that. Very nice, thank you. So this is the volleyball friend. I wonder what else we'll be picking up. I mean, I had noticed that before. And actually I hung around waiting to see whether the Lemurians near it would say anything relating to it. Alright, over here. Marooned and blue. A bit further over here. Doesn't really help that I don't know what I'm looking for in the slightest. Skates. What, like ice skates or roller skates? What does he want roller skates? What does he want either kind of skate for on a tropical island? That just sounds deeply uncomfortable. Here we are. Ice skates. They are ice skates. What does he want ice skates for on a tropical island? I mean, I'd call him a bloody weirdo, but that's fairly self-evident. He has gone a bit mad, yes. Yeah, I need to clear space on my PC so that I can get the display graphics back up. I hadn't realised it was this bad, but it is definitely noticeable that my graphics are a bit worse. I couldn't interact with it because I was bleeding, which is lovely. The lizards are still taunting me, but they won't come any closer. They won't chase me onto my island anymore. I'm safe from them. Safe. Safe. Green and blue. All of these things, they're all castaways too. First by whoever owned them, then by me when I ran from those lizard men. Now they're like a trail of breadcrumbs leading me back to my mind. But I still can't go. Not yet. Not yet. Escape from Monster Island. Look for the items. Hank Crusoe needs to get himself off the island. I mean, sure, self-sufficiency, cool. But on the other hand, we could definitely help him get off the island. Like, we're not even that far away from a jet. Didn't want blood on it. Yeah. I think it's because... Yeah, it's probably because the package didn't want my blood on it. That's why I couldn't interact with it whilst I was bleeding. It's not the case that bleeding was too distracting for me to be able to pick up a package and put it in my, I guess, subspace storage. Like, that's not what the issue was. You've inspired me to get out of here, hero, away from Monster Island. I've let this island become a prison. I can escape from it, but I have to leave under my own power. I know it's crazy, but will you help me get what I need to do that? It's just a few things. I need a raft. I saw one on some docks back in Wells Pass. I also need some maps and nautical charts. I know Argent has some on that hovercraft of theirs in the Argent Preserve. And finally, I need a radio. I saw Viper got a new shipment of them at the base outside the Viper nest in Slither Beach. If you can help me get those things, then I'll finally be able to beat this island. Okie dokie. So... they're quite a long way apart, aren't they? I've done the missions with these guys. Is it an object that you get? No. If it's a mission to do with the guys who are just hanging out over there, I've done it already. But thank you for letting me know. I mean, I didn't know about the Crusoe stuff. But I'm just going to go ahead and yeah, it's almost the other side of the volcano, isn't it? I think the devs expect people to explore more than they do. Well, there are some people who explore absolutely everywhere, and there are some people who just go where they're directed. And yeah, I mean, if it's a sandbox game like Fallout, then you can expect people to wander around and just explore. But in a game like this is definitely not a sandbox game. This is a game where almost exclusively you're led around by the nose, pointed at things that you need to do. So the couple of occasions where you've got stuff hidden away, it putting in things like Crusoe like that, where you can only find by exploration, is in a game like this actually pretty poor design, because you haven't prepared players for the possibility of it being a thing that they need to look out for. Like when you're building a game, you need to prepare your players for the kinds of things that they can expect to encounter and do, like when they're actually playing. And this is, despite the size of the outside zones, this is not a sandbox game at all. And so putting in sandbox elements... Oh no, I don't want to pick up the crate. Take waterproof radio, there we go. So putting in sandbox elements in a game like this actually is not a very good idea. Like, you could just have, like, Dr. Silverback up here say, hey, by the way, our scouts are Until scouts, or is it further up here? Wherever it is along this coast that Dr. Silverback's hanging out, you could just have him or the captain next to him say, hey, by the way, our Until scouts have found a guy who's shipwrecked on the island. He's kind of crazy, but maybe you could go and talk to him, see if he needs any help. And that would be all you need. I mean, they've got other introductory missions. Like, they're definitely not alien to that concept. Or that concept is definitely not alien, rather. Nautical charts. And finally, an inflatable raft. I don't know how much use an inflatable raft is. Like, I don't know how far away from other land masses Monster Island is. I don't really even know where it is. It's probably fairly close to Japan. Yeah, it's probably in the Pacific there somewhere, in that like loop of loose islands from Hawaii up towards, hence Bureau 17's presence. Well, fair enough. Yeah, Bureau 17 being the Japanese version. I think, well, it's not the Japanese version of Until, because Until is the United Nations, but Bureau 17 is a Japanese group. Pretty sure Crusoe doesn't speak Japanese and would get deported to the US. Not sure if waters are shark infested. It's the Pacific Ocean. A lot. Yeah. Huh. Why is there a mission here? There's a manimal. My time is short, but you can save them. Escape clause, yes, very nice. There are friends of this Viper base. Can you save them? There isn't much that can be done for me, but there is still time to save my friends imprisoned within this Viper base. Okay, let's do that. I hadn't noticed this before, but first I want to try and find the inflatable raft. Like, even if the guy manages to land on Japan, he'll still get sent back to America perfectly easily. But the issue is that actually getting to Japan... Thank you very much. I was kind of... Part of me was expecting to find, like, just an inflatable raft. Like a fully normal-sized one. But thank you for pointing that out for me. It probably would have taken me a while to notice it. Yeah, somehow managed to miss this guy when I was playing this before. clutch. That's weird. Why can't I enter the clutch? Oh, there we go. Oh, these guys are in for a bad day, aren't they? That's a lot of it. 34. Well, it's not so bad. It's not a huge difference. But we're definitely their superior. That's a cathartic monstrosity. Also, it's a bit too big to be a mirror, but it's still, the head reminds me of Mir from Magic the Gathering. Moradin? Is that the right? Is that the set that they originated in? Is that the right word? I don't really remember. Only one character at a time can interact. That's wild. You are not like those other humans. You have freed us. For that we are grateful. Freedom! Let us return the favor. We will fight with you. Let us crush these snake men. Oh, there's nothing here. Alright. So, we'll want to go this way. We'll follow you when it's safe. I mean, you're under no obligation to fight alongside us. We're perfectly capable of managing the rest. I don't think that you have to. If it's too dangerous and you just want to go home, that's fair enough. Got one more Viper to face, superhero. Well, that's not terribly difficult. Come, animals, the path is clear. The way is clear, friends. Let us be rid of this place. Button. I thought you were dealing with it. I thought that you had zipped over to press the button. Now turn off these shock collars so we can go. These shock collars must be deactivated before we can leave. I wonder why they repeat almost the same lines. Ah, thank you very much for being considerate there. There we go. Now, I think back to Millennium City to see whether... Oh, hold on. Where do I hand this in? Father Elk. And I also have a hand in with Hank Crusoe. Okay. Let's do that. I want to go this general direction, don't I? Because we've got here and here. And then Millennium City and Unity, and see what's going on with Unity. Because I've got an invitation to go to Unity, I think. Yeah, here we are. There's also Apocalypse Aversion, but that's recommended Team 5. Definitely not something I can manage solo. I mean, we tried it, or me and Captain Patriot tried it. Just the two of us with me and Arclight. But we got absolutely bodied, and I don't think it'll go any better with 3 of us. I have heard that you have freed some of my people, technical issues. For this, we thank you and owe you our allegiance. Viper will have to work much harder to imprison us in the future. I wonder how he heard before we got here. I mean, we travel at a pretty fair clip, especially if you assume... Well, you can assume that the island is actually bigger than it appears in the game, because, as with most games like this, they actually shrink the physical location, so it's possible for players to move around it at a reasonable time. But at the same time, our travel powers, I think, are supposed to move us more quickly. Like, we leave contrails when we use flight, and contrails only happen when you travel close to the speed of sound or break the sound barrier. Thank you, Technical Issues, and thank you for playing Survivor Wild Monster Island. You've been a great sport to Technical Issues, and we've been glad to have you on the show. I'm your host, Hank Crusoe, and I'd like to thank Technical Issues and our home audience. See you next time on Survivor World. Fuck off, mate. Congratulations again for playing Survivor Wild Monster Island, Technical Issues. You've been a big sport, and I'm sure the home audience was thrilled by your performance. And confidentially, if I win an award for the whole Crazy Castaway act, I'll be sure to mention you in the acceptance speech. Irritated me, and when I originally found... Yeah, it's irritating me as well, this fucker. So, our characters are capable of moving at pretty remarkable speeds, and I think even if you assume, well, if you assume both, that the island is bigger than it appears in the game, and that your character is capable of moving faster than they appear to in the game, for the purposes of, like, being controllable, like, both of these are just there to aid with player, like, consumption of the game. I don't know quite the right word to use. Like the player's ability to interface with the game. So I think it's probably reasonable to assume that the amount of time that it took for us to travel from one end of the island to, like, halfway up it is probably, like, real time. Because even if the island is bigger than it appears in the game, we are also moving faster than we appear in the game. So how on earth Father Elk heard about us freeing those guys from the clutch before we got back to him, I have no idea. Are manimals capable of teleportation? Super manimal hearing. Yeah, maybe. Maybe they've got, like, sonic... maybe some manimals are telepathic. Perhaps, but you would probably see manimals using psychic powers if any of the manimals were. Maybe it's that they've got, like, sonic communication between manimals, like, through calls, and so their calls managed to make it across the island faster than we did. But I mean, on the other hand, we're moving close to the speed of sound if the contrails from our flight powers or anything go by. And even if a call moves at the speed of sound as well, it's also got to be heard by a listener. They have to process that information and figure out what they're going to do, decide what to do with it, pass it on, produce the sound themselves. So, while yes, a call is itself moving at the speed of sound, propagation through a sequence of, through a communication sequence like that is going to be slower than the speed of sound, naturally, because of the, well, not human component, but the living component rolling around at the speed of sound. Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, actually, the movement speed, the run travel power is faster than the flight speed, and some of them you can have your character leave behind like a line, like a coloured line, a stripe, a streak. So I absolutely guarantee you there are players who have created Sonic the Hedgehog or some super special OC Do Not Steal version. Lady in Blue has neat tattoos. Cool. Talk to Dr. White. Welcome to Unity headquarters. Technical issues. The wicked never rest, so neither shall we. Unity is Until's super team, formed to combat superpowered threats around the globe. The original members include myself, my husband, Dr. Black, Quasar, Mentiac, Myrmidon, and El Picaro. We have been successful so far, but we fear that our current team may not be sufficient to handle what is to come. My husband and I have both seen ominous portents of death, danger, and looming global apocalypse. Of course, you don't need to be a mystic to sense that. Between the invading Kular, the rising level of Clyphothic energy in the world, and the return of Dr. Destroyer, it's obvious we have a rocky road ahead. But we could really use your help. Are you willing to lend us your assistance? No. Not sure why there is an option for gameplay purposes. Must be an RP thing. Yeah, it's nice of them to include one RP option in the game. Yep, like the Chaos Imp pet that you have, yes. Probably not terribly au fait for you to bring your Imp pet into the Unity building in front of Dr. White and Akoko Yamimori. Probably not a very good idea. Let's join Unity. Definitely want to do that. Unity invitation complete. I'm so glad you accepted my invitation. Please, let's talk. Hotspots. Each day, Until's intelligence analysis sift through tons of incoming data and compile a threat report. This is a list of the most dangerous hotspots around the globe that require our attention. Your duty as a member of Unity is to consult the database consoles here at headquarters on a daily basis and help resolve those threats. This hotspot list is automatically downloaded to your crime computer. It is up to you to select which of the locations you wish to deal with. Special assignments. Any Unity member who clears the big board of all hotspots can report back to headquarters for special assignment. Upon return to HQ, access to the database again for a special mission. Would recommend grabbing all of them at once. Fair enough. It's neat how the TVs have pictures of various zones. Ah, yeah. So that's Lemuria. That's Southwest Desert. That looks like Monster Island. That's Southwest Desert again, Lemuria, and Canada. And that's exactly the same image of Lemuria. I wonder if that's the same image of... Yes, it is. It's even got the same rock in it. And the two statues over Stronghold Prison. So I guess they're not terribly worried about Canada, given the fact that they've only got the one TV showing it. Rewards. I'll be honest with you, if you are looking to get rich, working for Unity is not the way to do it. Of course, if that's your goal, you may want to reconsider the whole hero business anyway. You will be paid in resources for dealing with both hotspots and special assignments. You will also earn Unity merits. When you have Unity merits to spend, talk to Mentiac. He sounds like Mintiac. Has he got minty powers? He acts as the team's quartermaster. El Picaro also has some unique items for sale. Is El Picaro like a Spanish Picard? Outdated info. Unity merits no longer are a thing. Oh, that's a shame. I guess they left it in because it kind of introduces the different members, and maybe they don't have any other way of talking about who Mentiac and El Picaro are. So now that I've put that in my own head, El Picaro, if it's not, if El Picaro is not just Picard but in a sombrero, I'm going to be very disappointed. What's SCR? Each mission also provides a small amount of Unity intelligence. You can sell any intelligence you have gathered to Dr. Black for Unity merits. It can also be used to get a special mission from Dr. Black to go up against some of Unity's greatest foes. Completing this mission gives a large reward of Unity merits. Silver Champion recognition. Ah, right, yes, okay. One of the many currencies in the game. I mean, I'm all fine. I'm fine and really all for multiple currencies, but when you've got like 15 of them, it feels like that's a bit much. Maybe it's not 15. Maybe it is actually 15. I don't know. I think that Champions Online has gone a bit too far with adding currencies. Which version of Picard? Young Stargazer Picard? Enterprise D Picard? Enterprise E Picard? Old Man Winter Picard? Probably Enterprise E Picard. But really, I'd be happy with any version of Picard wearing a sombrero, being in the game as El Picard, El Picaro. Was it El Picaro? Yeah. And I also really hope that Mentic is a Minty's ice character. Dealing with the daily hotspots that flare up is going to take you around the world. Mentic has rigged up. Why do I keep wanting to say dragged? Oh well. Mentic has rigged up a prototype teleportation device that can be used to get to those locations quickly. Exit the room through the door behind me and go to the right to travel. Go to the right. Full stop. New sentence. To travel, simply stand in the center of the teleportation pad and select your destination. Power consumption on this device is considerable, so we would appreciate you only using it for official Unity business. For destinations in Millennium City, please take the elevator back to the surface. Which is why they tossed out Unity merits. Believe it or not, we have lost several currencies. Oh, really? Fair enough. The Mechanon stuff had its own merits, the currency. Now it does SCR2. Well, gotta log off for now. See you later. Okay, fair enough. Thanks for coming by, Mohawkman. I'm glad that you were here for as much as we did. I'm going to continue finding out what there is to do here, because I have not actually ever done any Unity stuff before. Maybe there'll be enough here to do to fill up time for another couple of streams. Maybe it will be enough to do a stream's worth on Wednesday, and then that will be it. When PWE took over STO, they did consolidate the currencies quite a bit. They used to be like 20, and they consolidated them down to like 3, and now there are 5 or 6 major ones and a couple of minor ones. Well, I mean, 5 or 6 I can handle. But 20, I would feel a bit intimidated by. So there's probably a sweet spot, and to be honest, it probably depends on the player. I'm fine with. Okay, sure. Switch to whoever you like. I'm fine with, as I said, 5 or 6. 1 would be boring, I think. World of Warcraft uses a bunch of different currencies, but in WoW, I think they suffer from. They create a currency for an expansion, and then and usually the stuff that you earn with that currency is good for that expansion. And whilst you're doing the expansion's content, whilst it's the current content, you're earning enough of the currency to for it not to be an issue. But when progress marches on and you get to a new expansion, the previous expansion's currency. Yeah, one currency would be too farmable. Yeah, definitely. The previous expansion's currency kind of just falls out of use. Like, usually what you would use the currency for is buying gear, but it's gear for that expansion. So once the next expansion comes out and you get better gear just from doing missions or quests, you quickly replace all of the gear that you earned during endgame content and the previous expansion, so none of it's relevant to gameplay anymore. The only reason you I mean, okay, sure, I haven't played WoW in probably nearly 2 years, but and if they've changed something, then great. But if they haven't, the only reason you'd go back doing content in previous expansions is to earn cosmetics for transmogrification, which is basically changing your costume. And then it's kind of a grind because I mean, it always was a grind, but at least you had other people around helping you out with missions and with content during the actual expansion, and you had, like, it was current, it was the thing that was going on. Latest intel reports activity in Canada, Millennium City, Lemuria, and Monster Island. Okay, that's a lot. Breaking out in hives. The Canadian Steelhead Organization has just reported to Unity the discovery of a Kular hive in Canada, where the Kular are amassing for a surprise attack on the Gadroon. Steelhead does not want to protect the Gadroon, but also has no desire to let the Kular get a hold of Gadroon technology. Can you travel to the Great White North and clear out the Kular hive? You'll need to take down the Kular in charge of the operation to ensure those crazy bugs get the message. No alligators in the sewers. Unity has just intercepted a panicked 911 call to the MCPD from some sanitation workers who saw lizards in the sewers. Bipedal human lizards. This corresponds to the intelligence received earlier this week about a Lemurian submersible found in Lake St. Clair. Your mission, technical issues, should you choose to accept it, is to venture into the sewers of Millennium City and clear out any hostile Lemurians you find trying to sneak into Millennium City. Please conduct a thorough investigation and do not allow a single Lemurian to escape. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is a reference to Mission Impossible, which was, before a Tom Cruise sequence of films, was a TV show in the 60s. And when it said no alligators in these sewers, I thought it might be Trey King's. No, Sovereign Sons, that's the ones. I thought it might be Sovereign Sons from Vibora Bay. In fact, I thought that this might be taking us to Vibora Bay, but no, it's Millennium City. Starred Leonard Nimoy. Which starred Leonard Nimoy? Oh, Mission Impossible. Really? I had no idea. I mean, it's been fucking years since I watched any of it. I think I watched reruns when I was a kid of a couple of them. But, and at the time I probably wouldn't have been able to tell that it was Leonard Nimoy. I had seen a few Star Trek original series reruns at probably around the same time. But I was like less than 10 years old, and I was in no mental condition to be noticing that there were one actor in two different shows. Like, that would have been completely beyond me. So it's really cool to find that out now. Thank you for telling me. I had no idea that Leonard Nimoy was in Mission Impossible. That's wild. It was just a matter of time before the Elder Worms decided to strike back. Unity has just received information that the Elder Worms are amassing in a hidden temple, planning on an attack on an Until compound on Monster Island. Until launched a fierce counterattack to try and stop the Elder Worms, but they were overwhelmed, and now our Until allies are being held captive. Defeat as many Elder Worms as possible, including the Elder Worm substantiator, in charge. When it's a particularly long word like that, if it was any longer, I think I'd get confused partway through it, particularly trying to read it aloud, and I'd need to go back and make sure that I was reading it correctly, as I did there. Rescue the hostages and confiscate the dangerous ray guns the Elder Worms are using to transform the humans. I'm surprised they're still able... Well, I suppose they're using ray guns rather than crystals, because we, by this point, should have defeated the leader of the Elder Worms, Slug, who I think was broadly the one... it's been like a week or two since we defeated him and did the missions around it, but I think that he was the one responsible for transforming new Elder Worms. Wet work. Now, the term wet work in, like, military special ops and spy work means, well, the wet in wet work invariably involves blood. And if you're doing wet work in special ops, it means you're killing people, probably quietly, and getting blood all over the place. So, quite how they're going to go with this. As a child, I realised that the Reading Rainbow guy was Geordie LaForge pretty quickly. Well, fair enough. I don't know that I'd have managed that, so props to you, or props to child Admiral Mimo for being capable of that. Unity just intercepted some Viper radio chatter on the high seas. It seems Viper is in Lemuria searching for the cyborg pirate Captain Claw, who has been intercepting Viper shipping routes and robbing them. We've defeated Captain Claw. We beat him up about ages ago when we were last in Lemuria. Viper divers have located a cave they believe might be Claw's undersea base of operations, and their Viper Nest leader has ordered a squad into the cave. This is a great opportunity to catch Viper with its pants down, figuratively speaking, of course. Your assignment is to go into that cave and defeat every last one of those Viper terrorists. We'll make sure they are carted off to Stronghold after you are through. Archaeological interruption. Despite numerous setbacks, the Lemurians of House Herg are persistently continuing their efforts. I mean, you could just say persisting their efforts. I mean, you don't need the two words. Persist means the same as continue. It's more of like a in the face of adversity sort of word, whereas continuing is just kind of... The word continue doesn't imply any kind of obstacle, but persist implies. So you could just say, persisting in their efforts to excavate the ruins of Andrathal on Monster Island in search of ancient superweapons. They must be stopped. There we go. Wow. The list goes right the way down. Inhales all the energy. Yeah, you're definitely sparkling there, aren't you? So, let's have a stab at doing these missions. We've got a teleporter in here, I think it said. We've got one in Canada, 2 in Lemuria, 1 in Millennium City, 1 in Monster Island. Let's go to Canada first, I guess. Since we've only got the one there. And we're facing almost the right way. Just down here, there a bit. In an area I have not yet been to. I wonder if there are missions in these areas that I just haven't found because they've been hidden by some Egypt who thought introducing sandbox elements to a very linear game like this was a good idea. How are you faster than me? It can't be the flight power, because flight powers, unless it's jet boots or rocket pack, are the same speed. Have you got, like, extra gear? Special flight power. Alright. Aha. In this bunker. You hear the odd chirping and chattering of Kula in the distance. You are in their turf now and will need to stay on guard as you proceed. Righto. Let's give some Kula a bad time. Will this pop open? No. This is very, very alien, like xenomorph stuff, isn't it? Oops. Is that it? Is that all there was in this room? I mean, sure, building for one player is fine, but like, have 3 groups in there at least. This is more like it, but still, like, not hugely. The mission said that these guys were preparing to attack the Gadroon. Like, with what forces? There's barely enough here to stop to slow down one superhero. Like, what exactly were they hoping to do to the Gadroon? Baffling. This is not the kind of force that you prepare when you're intending to start a fight. This is a skeleton crew for guarding a place that you don't use very much. You need more max energy, fair enough. Yeah, when I was building technical issues, because I was sticking with heirloom gear, I had to choose between having a high equilibrium and not very much energy, or high maximum energy and terrible equilibrium. You have over 800, yeah, alright, show off. Swarm Lord, who is a bit close to the camera there, I think. Kill this fool for the glory of the swarm. Who's he giving orders to? Do you think he's still got troops? That's a bit horrid, isn't it? Steelhead Division contacted Unity and asked to pass along their heartfelt thanks to you. Technical issues. Your victory today has not just made Canada safe, but the entire world. I don't know that this can really qualify for saving the world, but I mean, I'll take it if you want to hand it over. So this door should lead us through into this room. That's it for here. I think we'll go back to Millennium City, and when we're actually in the city there, we can do the Millennium City one, which I forget. Which one was it? No alligators in these sewers. There we go. Oh, I can't make any of these missions first. Where are you off to? Yeah. True. And we can go straight there with the jet, I suppose. Oh right, I couldn't make it the primary mission because I'm not team leader. Fair enough. So where do we need to get to? Ooh, up here. And is there only the one mission here? Yes, there is. Archaeological interruption. Fair enough. Oh, I'm the team leader. Okay. Defeat Lemurians to disrupt their dig in Andrathal. Wasn't there an Elder Worm one? Free and clear. Where the heck is... aggression? In Lemuria. Ah, right, okay. For some reason... Wow, that seems like a bad move on the Elder Worm's part. They're worms under the sea. I mean, I'm sure that there are undersea worms, but like worms, yeah, worms in a fish world. Sure that they just get eaten. That was exactly my thought process. My graphics are really suffering. I hadn't noticed before. I definitely need to do something about clearing up space on this PC quite urgently, so that visual quality is restored. The reason I pointed out Crusoe's boat was that if you take a close look, it looks like it was placed as a set prop and not actually wrecked. I'm sorry, I didn't notice you say anything about his boat. But since we're back in the area, I'll check it out again. And thank you for mentioning it again, so that I actually saw this time. Just saw a Lemurian egg make a death threat. Wouldn't that be wild? Yeah, egg. Soon we will have the power to return to Lemuria and overthrow the treacherous Arvad. I will slay you, human, in the name of Andrith the Golden. Lemurians will once again rule the world, and you won't be alive to see it. That's 3 death threats from eggs. So where's this wrecked boat? Oh yeah, here. Do you see, I think I'd noticed this, but I hadn't connected it with Crusoe because it's so obviously an antique boat that no one would have used to get here. Like, it's way too old. But to be honest, because of stuff that we've seen previously, I'm actually not that surprised that the eggs are capable of thought. I mean, speaking so that you can actually hear them through the eggshell, that is a surprise. But we've seen previously that the eggs can hatch immediately into young that are capable of walking and attacking from the moment that they're born. this the right cave, or do we need to be in a different cave? Yeah, I think I complained last time we were in Lemuria dealing with these reefs, but it would be really great if the minimap could indicate height in some way. I mean, it took a long time for World of Warcraft to do it, but they have added a thing that indicates whether it's above or below your current position. Like, it doesn't give a full height, but at least it does something. I have no idea. Oh, Scuba-Doo. I must have missed that. One of our researchers, Mickey Levine, went out for a dive and has yet to return. I fear the worst, technical issues, and I'm desperate for your assistance. Mickey's last radio transmission was sent on the western side of the Great Reef, so you might want to start near there. Exit the Aegir and head west. This is a locational pickup mission. We would already be out of the Aegir when we found it. Why are they telling us to exit the Aegir? And head west either through the Great Reef Passage or over it to get close to her last known location. Okay. That was easy. I think I can make it back to the Aegir from here. Cool. So the entrance that we need is around... here we are. I assume. Looks about right. Oh yes, there's more of this than I thought. Enter mission Iliad aggression. Okay. This game has blue pointer arrows sometimes. Those can be used to indicate altitude. Yeah, they're inconsistent, and I don't think that they were showing there. I usually have them on, so when they're available, they'll show above my head, but they weren't just now. You hear the buzz of weaponry in the distance. If elder worms are transforming humans into worms, there is no time to waste. Oh right, we came in through here, and then this door is how to progress. Cool. Cool costume, by the way. It's it's understated, but it's classy. It looks superhero-y without being too close to the sort of Silver Age classic that still inspires superhero costumes to this day. Dr. Millennium City scientist. So these ray guns are probably what the Elder Worms have turned to after we took Slug out of the game, or after we dealt with Slug. I mean, using the term "took him out of the game" is probably a bit misleading, given that we are currently playing a game. I meant the game of transforming humans into Elder Worms, not the game as in this game that I'm playing right now. So perhaps I should be careful with precise language. So we dealt with Slug, who I think, as memory serves, was the one responsible for using crystals to transform humans into Elder Worms. So I suppose that this is their follow-up attempt. Their means of finding an alternative. Moving to QWZ for spoilers. I don't recognise the abbreviation there, but I don't think that I have. talk to the scientist. And then he runs away through the door that leads further into the temple. That's great. Great forward planning, that is, mate. Can't see that going poorly. Is he supposed to be the final boss of this? He's barely putting up a fight, is he? I mean, sure, he's just summoned 3 mind worms, which is pretty impressive, but they'll only last for a certain amount of time before the summon timer runs out. Not difficult to deal with. You can probably just outlast them. You've done tremendous work today. Technical issues. I hear some of the agents you rescued are recommending you be given a special medal commemorating your bravery and heroism today. Which agents did we rescue? We rescued scientists, not agents. I mean, not to say that scientists can't work for Until or Unity, but like, agent and scientist are 2 separate agents who were there in spirit. Yeah, maybe. It'll be down here, won't it? This is where some of Claw's stuff was happening, I think. Maybe not. What do I know? Ah, you found it. Cool, thank you. Where's the entrance? Ah, here we are. Is it glowing green? Is that what I'm looking for? No, this isn't where I need to be. Let's just say the Glyphotic War Zone is a place you've seen, sort of. It has worms, worms, lots of them. F is my interact button, not follow. Ah, there we go. Thank you. Aha! Thank you. Because I use interact way more than I use follow. I changed F to be interact. Also, a number of other games, including DCUO, have F as their interact button. So I switched it. You see evidence of Viper in these caves, but nothing of Captain Claw and his cyborg pirate band. Take Viper out while you still have the element of surprise on your side. It's no surprise to me that we're not seeing any evidence of Captain Claw, because I defeated him weeks ago. So, how do you unlock the Glyphotic War Zone? How do you get there? Wow, that's a beefy girl, isn't it? She's bigger than I am. I'm surprised, though, that Elder Worms would dare go to the Glyphotic. I mean, I know that they're psychic and sometimes magical, but I wouldn't have thought that they were capable of dealing with Warzone is unlocked by speaking to Major Boudreaux. Okay. I wouldn't have thought that they'd dare go to the Clifothic zone. Just seems like a really bad idea. I think they serve the Kings of Edom, so are all pretty chummy. Oh, fair enough. I mean, I hadn't really gotten any idea of who the Elder Worms served at all. Like, as far as I could understand from what the game had told me, and from what I remember as well. I mean, maybe my memory is imperfect, but I think the impression I gotten was that they were the last remnants of an entirely declined group. And they were just kind of trying to rebuild their empire from the ground up, like from a few basic members. Massive space war between Elder Worms and Malvans. This place is a real maze, isn't it? How is that working? This is hardly the first place in the game that we've seen doors that can't possibly lead to the places that we encounter them, but like that's one of the most egregious ones, I think. Fantastic work, Technical Issues. The Viper is about to split apart at the seams. Time and time again you've put a dent in their nefarious operations. There can't be much left to Viper, and it's all because of you. Well, and also because the Supreme Serpent decided it would be a good idea to jump into the Clifothic realm and go toe-to-toe with the avatars of the the Kings of Edom, and failed. Because he couldn't even deal with us, the superheroes who were also there, let alone the avatars themselves. Daft bastard. So he escaped. But he can't have been in good shape afterwards, and I don't think that his morale could have been in very good shape either. Oh no, this isn't where I want to be. How do I get back? Oh right, yes. Oh yeah, hand this in. Good to see you, Technical Issues. My name is Dr. Jacques Timakata, and I'm the Aegea's chief oceanographer. Don't let the natural beauty of the Undying Reef fool you. It is a wondrous place, but it can also be deadly. My research assistant, Mickey Levine, is back aboard the Aegea where she belongs, and we owe it all to you, Technical Issues. Yeah, I hadn't noticed that you weren't max level. Cool. Oh yeah. That water, it was just me thinking the water in the pool outside the Champions building was a bit garbage. It's because my graphics are set to be a bit garbage, which is a bit weird. So I thought I'd checked and seen that they were good, but the fun of MMOs. So many random people running around everywhere. Shocking Blue isn't Raven Force. Isn't Jewel Raven Force? Yeah, Jewel is Raven Force. Oh, there was someone on the ship who was called Shocking Blue who wasn't max level, who... Yeah, okay, sorry. Wow. The person who leveled up on the AJ was a character named Shocking Blue. An electricity character in a blue costume who was there next to me, who had done the same mission as me, finding that character. More or less the same height, size, black hair. I got confused. I looked at them, clicked on them to check their level, and didn't notice that they were named something different from Jewel. Sorry. I am going to blame the fact that I was concentrating on something else. My ability to concentrate on more than one thing is basically nil. And this is the sort of thing that happens when I get distracted. You don't see any evidence of Lemurians, but you know Unity intelligence is rarely incorrect. Well, I've only just started today working with Unity, so I don't know that I can say my character. I don't think that technical issues can say that she knows Unity intelligence is rarely incorrect. I mean, maybe they've got a good reputation. I guess we're working with Jewel, who maybe has been who maybe knows this and can say it on their behalf. But if technical issues were solo, I don't think that that's... I mean, I guess that they just have a bunch of missions that they cycle through. And so the mission text is just like kind of generic. Lemurians are ahead. You are almost certain. So brace yourself for a fight. If it turns out that these are Sovereign Sons, I'll be very amused. But no, these are definitely the Lemurians. They've got eggs and everything. Aren't these guys a bit too big to have fitted in those eggs? The effects of these powers are so ugly. Why? It's set on maximum quality. I checked this. I checked because I noticed that the electricity powers were not showing up very well, and quality's on maximum. Everything's all the way up. Maybe I should turn it down and then back up again. Automatically changes graphics based on your hardware. Don't want to change the bloom intensity, otherwise it would just absolutely wash out the screen. It doesn't appear to have... I don't know. No, it's still garbage. Oh no, I had just a hint there of high detail for that lightning. I think it's probably to do with not having very much space left in the computer's memory. Which I thought I had more time to deal with, but I guess go to recommended and 8 times. I mean, maybe I should play on recommended for a while. No. Not any kind of improvement. I don't think that I felt that last time I played DCUO that the graphics were suffering at all. Is it just CO that's struggling for some reason? What a weird thing to be wondering about on stream. Well, this is the last of the daily missions. Apparently, you get an extra mission or something. You get something once you've completed all of them. I guess we'll just finish up doing that for today. I mean, that's probably not going to take us much beyond like 11:30, hopefully. Regarding Lemon Nimoy, he was only in seasons 4 and 5 out of 7 of the MI series. He also played Paris, who was a master of disguise, so he was almost constantly in makeup. That might have been a factor in your recognition of him. Cool. I think I've only ever seen like a couple of episodes of the original Mission Impossible, and I have no way of telling after like 25 years or more since watching where in the seasons of that series the episodes that I watched fall. It may have been a couple of the earlier seasons. So I may not ever have actually watched any episodes with Nimoy in them. The clearest memory I have is of an episode where they were tricking people who were forging banknotes, and they put a person in the shell of a machine that was supposed to be printing out forged banknotes, and the person inside did the forging with like loads of cramped space or very little cramped space. How you would have lots of cramped space, I don't know, but oh no, I don't want to be Until, I want to be Unity, don't I? Ugh. Right, turbo left to Millennium City. You have successfully resolved all the hotspot missions for today. Congratulations. However, you are not done, as we have just gotten reports of a special assignment for you. Please stand by as we get you the special assignment information. Dreicher makes monsters. Technical issues. You, of all people, know how dangerous Viper's Dreicher gas can be, and what kind of monsters it creates. Unity has just uncovered some terrible news. Viper is hiding out in a Lemurian temple, continuing its Dreicher research from Island Nest Viper. Until sent a strike team in to stop Viper, but they were overwhelmed, and now our Until allies are being held captive. That seems to happen a lot. Technical issues. We ask that you meet with our Unity operative and go into the temple, collect cases containing Drycia serum, free the Untitled captives, and defeat the Viper Basilisk Major in command. Sure. Sounds like a laugh. Lots of cramped space would be like something that is very narrow and long, I guess. Or like, there's lots of space, but there's lots of people crammed in, so all of them are cramped. So that there is a lot of people cramped, lots of cramped space. Anyway, so can we use the teleporter to get out to wherever it is that this is happening? Monster Island. Still hear me reading the mission text. I think something happened. Giving you a delay. Probably. We want to be all the way up here. And there's a volcano in the way. Dashed inconvenient, that. Yeah, I like that the teleporter takes us to the jet. I suppose it did have to be like ground level because they didn't necessarily know what travel powers a hero using the teleporter would be using. I wonder whether these are just like objects in the sky or whether you can interact with them. Because you don't see, they look like pterodactyls, don't they? They've got the long heads and everything, but you don't ever see them anywhere else. You don't ever encounter them anywhere else. No, we're at the top of the island. Okay. Tried in vain to catch them. Yeah, it's weird. You don't see them anywhere else. Are they creations of Teleos, do you suppose? I mean, he's created the dinosaurs, the Teleoraptors. Can't touch the pterodactyls, really. Fun fact, you can't fly over Lemurian Ruin in the caldera. Yeah, I noticed. The maximum height used to be a flying giant cosmic. So perhaps. Oh, fair enough. Teleosaurus was its successor. Well, I'm impressed that they've managed to fit an entire mission inside this tiny hut that you can see the entire ground space of. Like maybe the door into the rest of the mission is like around inside here. Like there isn't any holes in the floor. Like maybe we're supposed to pry up a couple of slabs to get down into the temple. There is a boss that's a pterodactyl. Oh, cool. Fair enough. Have our favourite person. What are you doing here? What good are you? Sensing a great evil ahead. Are you really? Are you going to do anything else? She's helping me destroy the rocks. I wonder what happens when she sits back down and then they spawn back in again. Is she going to get shunted out the way, or is she going to suddenly teleport above the rocks? Yeah, it's a good thing you summoned these crystal sigils or whatever they are, in case the rocks ran into them. Good planning there, Witchcraft. So, like, is she here to help? Did she just find this place to hang out in? Is she here researching new architecture to transform herself into? Is she trying to spice things up in the bedroom with her and Defender? She's here to help. Well, help. a bit broad, isn't it? Okay, so on a slightly lower setting, I am getting more lightning effects. And in this case, I can actually see the lightning I'm using. That's nice. Apparently this is lab equipment and not some kind of space coffin escape pod. Yeah, does the stone explode? If yes, that's not an explosion. That's like that's just bursting. So this isn't Lemurian Ruins, then I think we could say. Anyway. Ooh, lots of lava. Or, well, no, it's new Lemurian ruins, the ones that you find at the bottom of the sea where the rocks explode. So, old Lemuria, before they moved off the island, that's, their rocks don't tend to explode, but the ones that you find under the sea, their rocks do explode. So it's new Lemurian ruins, where they're new... Oh, that was very clever of you, wasn't it, Mr. Psionic Director? Just run into the lava, directly into the lava. In these special missions you can team up with the champions and Foxbat. I think you mean do most of the heavy lift. How the fuck did this tank get in here? The door is not big enough. Cool, you can eat that freem beam to the face, Witchcraft, whilst I deal with the tank. I mean, I don't block things like that because I can't be bothered and because I'm tough. I'm impressed that you didn't, Witchcraft. Yeah, both the doors into that corridor are not big enough for that tank to have fitted through. Not remotely. Assuming you could even get the tank in through the front door of the small temple hut thing that we found on the surface. So the only possible explanation is that, well, there are two. Okay, fair enough. There are two explanations. One is that they brought all the components in and built it in that corridor for some fucking reason. And the other is that they have space dilation technology that allows you to place objects into a subspace storage sort of deal, which I think, in fairness, we have already decided must be the case, given the size of objects that superheroes can pick up and not show on their person at all. Here we are, another tank blocking up the door. Very nice of it, thank you. Why exactly they would need a tank in a room full of their servers? It's amazing that Viper has gotten as far as they have with this kind of revolutionary thinking. It really is. Let's introduce some technical issues to their machines, shall we? Completely unnecessary, but fun. Blow the machines up. Oh no, that's just a transport. Okay, there's a pod here. I think we should explore the rest of the temple complex before we go through the big hole in the wall. It's nice of the map not to show the rest of the rooms. That's really helpful. Like, oh no, there's a bit. So it's not got all the corridors, but it does have the rooms at least. Gold. Ooh, yes, piles of gold, not dirt. Ah, that's fine. Was that aura of airborne destruction hitting him at the end there? Is that your I don't think you would use that, would you, for an electricity build? Or is that witchcraft? Because I'm imagining it... Yeah, I thought it was. I figured it was witchcraft. So, it seems wild to me that witchcraft would be using aura of airborne destruction. It's pretty... I mean, it's not in the Darkness power set or even the Infernal Supernatural set, but it seems pretty destructive and evil. I mean, you'd think she'd what would she use? You would think she'd use, like, Enchanter, or maybe Aura of Primal Majesty. Maybe Aura of Radiant Protection if she's being a goody two-shoes, but like she's capable of using Aura of Airborne Destruction or Radiant Protection varies in game. Oh, okay. If only we could all switch so conveniently. I'm gonna spend a fortune in the powerhouse retconning her powers. Oh, here we are, another tank that can't possibly... Well, maybe it came in through there. If that leads outside, who knows? I guess we'll find out. Wow, the rocks were on fire. Because that's a thing that happens. And now they've destroyed themselves. Or been destroyed by the flame, I guess. I think this is probably going to... Ooh, hello. There's a power armor chap in here. Probably going to come out in... Oh no, this is another room that we haven't been in before. Just how big is this place? And yes, we've been here before, so let's head back to one of the two large holes in the wall. Oh, the computer servers have respawned. Huh. Can't actually get through it. That's weird. Witchcraft, the spirits tell me that we should... Where did everyone go? Oh, is a thing happening? Sorry, I wandered off. She is lost without new technical issues. You're her only hope. Apparently. Alright, come on, you silly bint. So, is there a section we're missing? We've still got to collect cases containing serum, cleanse the temple, dry... not sure where else there is. Wait up, I'm sensing some powerful emanations here. You shouldn't have eaten beans before we came. No. This is really weird to me, that there would be these enormous holes in the wall that you just can't move through at all. Where, spirits tell me that we should... Where did everyone go? Can't imagine why anyone would want to leave you behind. So there's presumably one of those weird pod things that we've missed somewhere. Ah, found it. Well, hey! There we go. We have left witchcraft behind. Cryptic energy. What? Creating barriers over the doors so you can't get through? Ooh. Coalesced cryptic energy. Condensed form of cryptic energy that can be used in research at Unity HQ. Ooh, interesting. I wonder if I've got any. No, it doesn't look like it. Oh well. I need to sell some of my stuff because it's taking up a lot of space in my inventory. Do we go back to the Unity HQ to finish things off? Cool. No? Okay. Seems to be it for today. Okay. Well, that will be the end of the stream today. On Wednesday, I will be hopefully doing Death Rattle and... Well, I will be doing as much of that as I can, Death Rattle and Serene Abyss. I'm not sure how much of it there is available and whether I will have managed to unlock it all. I'll probably also do some Unity missions to fill time. But I don't think that will be a 3-hour stream on its own. I might make 2 hours, in which case I don't want to just zip around trying to fill time. So if things run that way, I will probably end an hour early. I mean, we're half an hour over now, so I suppose it makes up the difference. Anyway, after which, assuming I can't find any more to do reasonably as one player, I'll be doing DCUO next, but not on Friday, because that's Christmas. By the way, well, I mean, I'll probably see you on Wednesday, but in case I don't Merry Christmas. I hope you have a good time. I could do alerts and make fun of the alert bosses. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was too rushed during the alert with Black Harlequin. Or was it Black Jester? Black Harlequin? Something. Black something. Black Harlequin. I felt like I was not paying enough attention, not pulling my weight by attacking all the different mobs, because my attention was split. I was trying to read stuff off the screen. I don't feel like doing alerts is really something, whilst fulfilling the spirit of explore the story, look at what the game is telling us. I don't feel like I can do both. So let's have a fail timer of 2 minutes. Fast completion might be less than 30 seconds. And they aren't necessarily story missions. Yeah, so I mean, I came into doing this knowing that I wouldn't be able to show absolutely everything, and I'm fine with that. So unless there is some secret corner of the world that I just haven't noticed all the missions in, I think that I've done as much as I can in the format that I'm willing to try and do it, that I'm wanting to try and do it. Nemesis system. Do you get... like, is there a story arc in that? I thought that the Nemesis system was just like, sometimes the Nemesis would show up. Because you... oh, there are story missions, okay. Has a finale as well. Can you do all of them back to back? And how long do they take? Because... no, you can't. It has story things in it, but not things that really impact the main story until the ending. You can get jumped in certain missions. Okay, it doesn't seem as though the Nemesis stuff really lends itself to the format that I'm trying to stream in. Maybe if it was... I was just making YouTube videos, and I might actually, because I've got my YouTube channel, I might make a YouTube video on just the sequence of Nemesis missions that you can get to have happen. But I think I'm gonna, after Wednesday, I think I'm gonna call it doing Champions Online, and I'll move to DCUO. Anyway, that's enough blathering, I think. Thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time, and I hope to see you again. Good night.